Sorry, we're back from some technical difficulty. We started and now we're back again. So we're coming to midway, halfway through a different conversation. But hey, welcome to episode 36, 7, I think. I'm not sure which one.
6, 7. My son did that, dude. He's 4 years old. And I don't know where he got it from. But he came home one day and he was like, hey, dad. 6, 7. And I was like, like.
But you knew before your son.
Huh?
You knew it before your son.
Well, yeah, I mean, I saw it on.
Dude,
he's not on TikTok.
You're hip, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty hip. Thank you, man.
I'm just saying.
I think I'm pretty into, like, here's the thing, right? I think each generation is going to be a little bit more in tune with the previous generation than the generation that came before it, right? And then the example of that is, like, I think our parents are the last generation of, like, people that are not very technologically adept. You know what I'm saying? So I think of your parents' generation, right? They might have problems and they might struggle with, like, technology.
Yeah.
Still, right? Like, my grandparents for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But my parents still. My mom will probably still have a hard time with, like, technology in general.
Yeah.
I won't. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I think, for the most part, I grew up around technology. And, going from one to another, where, like, I can adapt to it a lot faster. And it's going to keep getting up and up for our kids and so forth.
It's like
ability to adapt to technology.
You're already there before, like, as it started. So your building stones or your foundation is a lot better because you've kind of seen it evolve. So every function or usability you've kind of gone through, every version of it. So you kind of can assume things that they...
You were born in the age of, like, technology.
Rapid
rise of technology.
Do you think one day we're going to be like our parents, where we can't even, like, we're fumbling and everything like that?
I think now I think about it, actually, I think we are very different in that sense. I think other generations will have some problems. I think we came from a generation where, like, the change that we witnessed in our lifetime is probably one of the greatest changes you will witness in human history. Right, we have witnessed.
It's like the birth of the internet being
right. That we have
mainstream kind of.
We have witnessed the birth of the internet, all the way coming to the rise of an artificial intelligence. Like,
yeah,
we're seeing, like, things happen so much, and I'm sure, like, in the 1800s, like, things were happening fast, like levers and pulleys and, like, machines and steam engines was happening.
The printing press.
But guess what wasn't happening? The transfer of ideas.
Yeah.
Like, you weren't seeing it happen at rapid time because you would have to go read a book. But half of fucking people probably didn't even know how to read it. There's already a problem, Now, like, with, like, just access to technology, YouTube and all this shit, like, it makes it so much easier to transfer ideas.
This is an interesting thought because now you mention it, and you mentioned Paris earlier.
Nicolas Maduro. I'm just kidding. What?
You mentioned Paris.
Oh, okay.
And Paris back in the day used to be like the epicenter of kind of revolutionary ideas, of free thought, and kind of artists and all these things. Everyone says, go to Paris. Even our founding fathers went to Paris. You know what I mean? Simón Bolívar from South America went to Paris. Do you think now with technology, like those kinds of places, like I guess today modern day would be like Silicon Valley. That's a place you go to because there's engineers, there's smart people from Stanford, Berkeley. The top
are you
people.
Asking where the thought leadership in the world is?
Well, because of AI and because of technology, I guess my thesis, or what I think is kind of happening, is maybe more so. There's not going to be a new center point of the world because everything is really online.
In digital space.
I can now communicate with someone.
The real things exist
from where I live
in your pocket.
Yeah.
The real transfer of ideas are happening now between text threads and virtual rooms and all this, right? Reddit, right?
Yeah.
Or even, like, over Zoom. Like, I think, this leader is meeting with that leader over some virtual meeting or some company bot. You know what I'm saying? A lot of those are happening. Like, the epicenter is in the web. Like, it doesn't. There's no physical epicenter. I feel like
It's not like a certain location. I mean, there's engineers. There's great engineers. Maybe in certain countries, you could say, "Hey, here more than so than the other." But
yeah.
simultaneously, sometimes those engineers can go. They can move anywhere.
I think it is Silicon Valley, right? I think it is still Silicon Valley. I think there's pockets, right? I think like Bangalore, India, right? I think that's another one. Probably somewhere in China probably has like a very advanced tech city, like
a hub of it, but it is like, but even then,
I think I think Poland or like somewhere in Europe probably has a very concentrated like heavy hub of like, because I think here's the thing with Europe, right? I think a lot of people tend to like okay, Europe is very progressively thinking in terms of like privacy and data and things like that. They've always been ahead when it comes to that kind of stuff, right? Like GDPR, but it's a lot more restrictive in European countries and stuff like that. I think they are really championing the idea of like I forgot what the fuck we're talking about, dude. This is what happens.
The idea that
God damn it.
We had some whiskey earlier, yeah, so we were having a good time. But the idea that there's not going to be an epicenter in the future kind of thing. Like, there is not going to be a future Silicon Valley. There's not going to be a new New York, London, France, Paris. That's what we were saying. It's like these places of revolutionary ideas. Because the internet is kind of taking that over. Where now I don't have to... I could get a revolutionary idea from someone in
Reddit,
Bangalore, or in China, or in Taiwan, or in Mexico, or in Argentina. It's like all these. I no longer have to travel to a certain thing. I don't know if that's good or bad, because I think part of the experience of going to Paris was maybe seeing Paris. It's like going to San Francisco. There's a cool part about being there and seeing the Bay Area and things like that.
I think ultimately, like, I don't like it to where knowledge is not accessible, right? I think there's always more value in having knowledge be accessible without much restriction on like geography or like gating things that will restrict somebody else from getting that knowledge. So like example is like, why should somebody in South Africa or somebody in Australia be restricted to the knowledge that anyone should be able to look at, right? Like, you shouldn't be able to like bogard information or knowledge about like certain things. Like, that's just kind of like, what, like, unless that's like, I think we all do, like, obviously, like, like nuclear secrets and shit like that. Like, people are not trying to like,
sure, yeah. I mean, there's like high level things
like humanitarian stuff. Yeah. Like, if you found a cure to cancer, like,
do you think ideas are being bogarded?
I think ideas are 100% being bogarded, dude.
Why
by governments, for sure. I think there have been plenty of people that have discovered something that is so profound and great, and it just is never released or something. Like one of the example that comes up to my mind is like hydrogen fuel, or like why? Okay, so I think we have figured out hydrogen fuel, right? Like that's a pretty clear cut concept, right? But here's the thing: like, no one's really going to push for that idea, especially not oil and gas companies, because it's going to take away from their margin. But also, it's like oil and gas companies got the most amount of like help from the U.S. government because we built the fucking roads. Like, you benefited because the U.S. government laid the infrastructure for oil and gas companies and car companies to succeed. Now, when companies like Tesla are coming over saying, hey, like, build the infrastructure, they're like, oh, kick fucking pound sand, right? Like, build your own infrastructure of charging stations. Like, what? Like, you help build roads.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, again, I think there's a huge, like, political, like, type of shit that goes on, and like,
there's definitely a kickback. Yeah. They're not. I don't think I don't feel bad for the oil companies at all.
Right.
They're making a lot of money, and they're definitely giving a kickback to the government officials who built all those roads.
Like, okay, I think a clear example of this is like this whole Venezuela stuff, right? Like, it's like, let's just call it what it is, right? Like, we went in there for oil, oil, bitch. Is that Dave Chappelle episode? And it's like, do you say oil? What oil, bitch? You see oil
Yeah,
out here? Like,
yeah.
so goddamn
Dude,
oil.
that was on point. Who knew that was like just 25 years too early? Yeah, we all thought he was making fun of Bush, but he was coming in for Trump.
Like, okay, call it what it is, right? Like, you were in there for oil, and part of it is like, okay, it is about protecting of like American sovereignty, like on the global scale, like which is like, okay, countries that are coming over from like Russia or like China are like trying to do the same thing that we're trying to do to Venezuela, take their oil, right? So it becomes like, hey, do we want to take this oil or do we want to give that oil to China or Russia or whatever other countries, right? And at the end of the day, I think he's just like, I don't want that. But call it what it is. Say it was for the oil.
Well, I mean, no, you're killing three birds with one stone. The truth is you're killing three. Like, so, like, you're right. One is like the guy sits on the largest deposit of oil in the world, right? More than Saudi Arabia. So, like, I don't even need Saudi Arabia now if I control that oil. I am Saudi Arabia now. That's one. Two, well, the guy doesn't stand for democracy, and America stands for democracy. And since Hugo Chavez, we've been anti that. And anti their relationship with China, things like that, Third, what you said, the national security of just not wanting to have that relationship and that connection of China and Russia and South America and kind of our back.
That's a bad.
The new Monroe Doctrine is what they're
right,
saying.
Yeah.
It's kind of
you gotta
like,
flex you gotta get the BRICS nation out.
Though,
of
I mean, I kind of like, I want to push back on the idea of it being like the Monroe Doctrine. The Monroe Doctrine was supposed to push out like the European countries that were colonizing the countries there.
I think
and
some extension of that is,
kind
I
of
think,
colonizing.
basically it's like, hey, like this is our side.
Yeah, stay on your side.
Stay on your side, but also like you can't have Taiwan.
You can
stay on your
stay
side.
on your side.
You can't have Taiwan.
But at the same time, I have a lot of your side as well.
Yeah, but you just can't have Taiwan because I really like that place. Like, can't have it.
They sent me semiconductors. Yeah,
it's like it's again. I think the whole idea of like again. I'll say this. I'll say this, dude. What they did militarily, fucking holy shit, like,
dude, gangster, dude. I'll be honest.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like they like the guy said is like, dude, come. I'm waiting for you, dude. I'm waiting for you. No, and he said, you know what? All right, and he did.
You know what's one of the things like somebody was talking about was like. Venezuela, I guess, had bought like top notch like Chinese like radars and shit, like like that's what they.
I imagine so, or Russian, yeah,
right, like
Chinese,
top
Russian,
top stuff, and basically like the showing that the United States put up in Venezuela, like
showed us weak
showed
sauce.
China like, holy crap, we didn't see that shit coming.
Yeah,
like, they were that much ahead.
Like, goddamn,
yeah,
they did it in how long? How fast?
Taiwan.
Yeah.
And the same thing is
he was on the base already. Yeah.
But the thing is, that comes to the thing with like this Russia-Ukraine stuff. Like, dude, that shit's still going on, right? It was still going on for like, I think there's some like stuff now, like some treaty or some shit, but it was still going on for like a good 2.5, 3, 4 years. That Russia-Ukraine stuff went on for like 3 years.
It's still going on.
Still going on?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess it's still going on. I thought Trump stopped it.
No, it's still going
so
on.
anyways, it's still going on. But to my thing is like, dude, these guys.
Hillary Clinton said if he could stop it, she would nominate him for the Nobel Peace Prize.
He didn't stop it? I swear to God, there was some sort of ceasefire.
There was kind of, but they're still attacking each other.
Oh.
Yeah.
My thought is like Russia couldn't go in there and get that done. Like I think if the whole China-Taiwan thing happens, it's not going to be as swift as like, like what
No,
they just do with the regime change.
We seize the right opportunity because Russia has an issue with Ukraine, and they had a good chunk of their military kind of knocked out. If they weren't having that issue with Ukraine at the moment, they would have a lot more
support.
Maybe, yeah. They would have a lot more people to kind of say, well, look at our military might, don't mess with Venezuela kind of thing, Or you mess with us. But because they're having that, well, Russia's weak. Yeah. China's not going to enter a conflict over Venezuela. The only country they're going to enter a conflict for, I agree with you, is Taiwan. Yeah. That's it.
I think it's going to happen in the next 2 years.
I hope not. I don't want it to.
I think it will.
I hope not.
I do think we're gonna the thing that you were telling me like a while back was like in the state of war, what happens? Like does the president stay in power?
What do you mean?
Like so like if there's a full blown war, I think they void elections, right? Isn't that what happens?
No, there's elections during war.
You think?
Yeah, absolutely. George Bush during the Afghanistan
That's not a
war.
war, dude. Stop.
There was 2 wars going on.
Stop.
Well, I mean-
Stop. Get that fucking shit out of here. Like, no. That wasn't a war, dude. I feel like it gets a lot of scrutiny. Like, that's like the war on drugs. My guy, like, stop.
Dude, that's...
I think fighting... here's the problem with that, right? Fighting an idea has to be fought with education. Like, ideas, war on ideas have to be fought with knowledge, right? It cannot be fought with force. It cannot be fought with, like, weapons. They cannot beat hate by beating it down. You have to, like, beat hate through different methods, you know?
Through peace.
Yeah, like, by caring. Like, it's just kind of how that works. Like, you cannot, like, it's not like, you'll just
You can't beat the shit out of hate.
Yeah.
I can't hate my hate, the hate that
it's
exists.
just not possible. Like, it's just kind of like a very counter, and like, how do you beat an ignorant person? Right, like,
With love and compassion. I
right,
guess.
like it's the same thing. You have to beat them with an idea. And someone has an idea that they're indoctrined with. Physical pain is not going to beat that idea out of them. You have to logically submit their will for that idea. You know, as okay. Here's a prime example, right? I fucking love One Piece, right? So Luffy, you know, wants to be the king of the pirates. And in the whole theme of the show has been he does not kill anyone. Luffy does not believe in killing somebody. Because to him, defeating somebody is taking their will and still letting them live. Letting them know that their dreams will never come true and still letting them live is the ultimate defeat.
It's like killing that someone. That's, yeah.
Right? And then that's the kind of like that's what it is, right? You really have to like just beat the idea with like just not like you have to submit your idea upon that. Like it's such a like a brute thing to say, I guess, but like you know what I mean? Like how do you beat an idea, Oskar? How do you beat Christmas? Like think about it. Christmas is an idea, right? Like you want to beat Christmas. How do you beat Christmas? You can't. You have to say, oh, maybe Halloween is better. I'm saying like you have to
sell another idea more than
right.
Christmas. Yeah.
So
or an anti-Christmas idea, I guess. Yeah.
Right. So again, I think that's the whole
Self-Judaism. I don't know.
Yeah, but again, a lot of interesting happening this couple of weeks, dude.
Who knows what's gonna happen? I've been pretty impressed with Marco Rubio. I'll be honest, though.
Marco Rubio.
I never thought I'd say that. And
have you seen these like pre-made? It's like they're making these videos of like Trump, and he's like the president of Venezuela, and he's like, "This is Senor Trump.
No,
I am the presidente of Venezuela. I will make it mucho grande again." I started fucking dying, dude. Like, I gotta send you that. You don't have fucking Instagram anymore.
I don't have Instagram anymore.
But that shit was funny. But again, AI, that's what it's used for, dude. 99% of AI is used to make dumb videos on the internet so everyone can get a laugh. But is that a bad idea? You know what I'm saying? The internet, the most searched internet website on the internet. You know?
Google?
No, dude. When it was first created. Before they had Google.
Porn.
There you go. You know, people are on the internet to look at memes, look at funny stuff. I think it's still to this day, vast amount of people that are on the internet are just looking at dumb fucking shit, like which is
it's nothing.
It's
good
amazing.
For you.
It's amazing. That is the purpose of the internet, dude. A lot of people say, "Oh, business, this and that. I'll conduct." Fuck your business, dude. The internet was created for fucking indulgence. Like,
you know what we don't look into a lot is into the dark web. Like how many people, what are people in the dark web looking for, kind of things like that, and doing.
I don't even know
what kind of underbelly, like what kind of big market is that underbelly?
I think what people say, what is the dark web? Like what is it? Is it just private rooms that someone has created?
Probably, yeah.
Deep private rooms, like just like with different layers of encryption. That's
or VPNs into different websites that are not just public here.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like Silk Road.
I mean, I'm sure, places like Silk Road where you could buy like illegal things and
like,
things
but
like
you could buy anything, right? Like that was a thing. You could buy like
Pretty much,
like a rocket launcher or some shit.
You
That
could,
is crazy.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I used to. So when I used to work at that company that we all worked at.
Yeah.
One of my employees, one of the person I used to manage, he got a company on the line one day, and it was a legit drug dealer with a website. And his website was, you just go on his website and you click on like whatever you want. So you could order like an ounce of like weed at the time, or you could order like Oxycontin. You could basically order anything. It was basically like anything you want. You could just click on it and you could order it. And he wanted to promote that. So this guy, his name was Rob. Rob sold him, dude. He's like, hey, we'll get you on the front page of Google. And the guy is like, oh shit, like you can? Like no one's been able to do that because obviously you can't promote drugs
on Google. Yeah.
But he took his money and he sold him. And eventually, like, we had to refund the money because we told him we can't do this. This is like illegal. But that website is legit. You could buy like Percocets. You could buy any type of drugs
With USD?
Dude, the deed.
That's pretty stupid, man. I feel like that's the FBI right there, man. That's why they had to change their name.
So that whole thing was kind of funny because I was like I think that guy is just an idiot. Like it wasn't like I don't think like. Here's the thing. I just don't think he thought it through, and he thought, hey, if I just make a website, they can't get me. They don't know where I'm at. Like I don't think he thought of it through completely.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, like.
If I'm not selling it in person.
Then, yeah. Like I think that was the whole idea behind it.
Yeah.
And he's just like, okay, yeah. But here's the thing. You might get away with it for fucking years. Until you blow up, you might just get away with it. Like,
yeah.
How like, because somebody has to be looking to find you.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, the post office does check for like things that are obviously drugs.
I mean, I guess, but I'm sure they do, but
you can hide it in other things.
Yeah. So that's crazy.
You think the government has contract for that?
Government has contract. Government 100%. My buddy of mine has a government contract, a state government contract through the state of Oregon, through a hospital to purchase medical grade marijuana. Yeah.
The U.S. government?
No.
Oregon.
Fucking hospital. It's a state of Oregon. It's a hospital. It's like they're doing like it's basically he sells it to drug companies that are doing like research on like
THC or whatever.
Right. So he's selling it to like a lab, but it's through like for grants given through the government and shit like that. It's all like a huge.
Sure. Yeah. The government has to buy it from somewhere.
Right. Yeah. So there are people that supply to the government. Like
yeah. That's what we're looking for, to be a prime subcontractor, man.
Yeah, dude. A great idea. There you go, dude. And I feel like anyone that's seen the movie War Dogs, real movie, basically where they're supplying the weapons to the U.S. forces. Anyways, real shit. There's a website called SAM.gov. People that don't know, you can just go and search for contracts that you can fulfill. The contracts come in various sizes, from $0 to like millions of dollars. And if you think you can complete it, you can just bid for it. So one of the things we're looking at is like, hey, we can make a subcontracting company. One of the jobs there was like providing like 600 chairs and a tent for an air show. And we were like, hey, if we can get this, we can bid 50,000, but if we can find somebody to get this done for 30, we can pocket the 20. Like, that's the kind of thought process. Anyways, long story short, these contracts are just going unfulfilled. That's what's happening. People are just not fulfilling these contracts, and there's hundreds and hundreds of contracts. The Department of War just extended their budget to $1.5 trillion. $1.5 trillion. That is 1%. Is that one? That's more than 1%. It's like a 3% of fucking GDP or something. It's massive.
No, if we spend 50% of our GDP on military, and we just upped it by 100,
we don't spend 50% of our GDP on military, Oskar. I feel like
our budget. No, yeah, I'm looking at it wrong.
Our budget, correct. But again, our military but spend is like 3% of our total deficit, and compounds every year or some shit. Like, think about that. Like, we're spending 1.5 trillion. Just trillion. Damn.
With a T, dog. Catholic Administrative Pastoral Life Coordinator Services.
Dude, don't you have your...
Yeah, I'm a religious man.
Yeah,
I'm a religious man.
Marrying couple, like, this has got to be, like, this is something, like, you should just go and do this. What is
$1 million contract doing that?
Just marrying people at the U.S., like, oh, you did, that's your job. Just think about that. What is this special space required?
Dude, Daly City.
Toilet rental. See what I mean? Like, click on that, dude. That's got to be like that's something you should be able to like do. We could. Here's the thing. Let's say we do this. What if we pay our vendors net 60? What if that's also written on our contract?
When snow is present on the ground, huh?
We also pay them net 30 or net 60. That we write that on the contract. We just pay you guys net 60 as well. Like, that's like.
Technically, you could do that, yeah. Though you have to be ready to put. Yeah, I guess, yeah.
No, why can't you? You're like, hey, like, this is the. You want to work with us? We do net 60. When we get paid,
pay on net 30. Yeah.
So we pay you when we get paid.
A little bit of risk, but hey, I mean, yeah, there's a bunch of different things. Like, again, that the air show that we could have. That's.
Or even this toilet, supplying this toilet. Like, why is that a hard thing? They're looking for porta potties, dude. Like, they're looking for fucking 20 porta potties.
Golden Gate National Cemetery grounds maintenance.
Yeah, I think the point is, like, there's so many of these that just go unfulfilled. You think, like, I'm pretty sure people don't. Like, I think you scrape this, right?
I'm sure you can.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of money also, like, being able to just process this and sell this as leads. Like, there's gotta, like...
Well, I mean, if you think about it, yeah, it's like you could kind of get the...
You put everything together for somebody and say, hey, like, you want to bid on this? And if they want to bid on this, they pay you, like, $30, and you just bid for them, and that's it. Like, you're just, like...
I'm even thinking, like, you could be a part of... Like, you...
Some fucking lead sourcer, dude. You can actually... Well, that's a great fucking
or,
idea.
like, you bid on their behalf, and you get a 10% or 20% cut of whatever you bid. Say, well, you know your actual cost, right? I'm going to fill this part of it out. Whatever. If you win the bid...
Oh, you just like a processor. Like, hey, I'm going to do all the heavy lifting of paperwork.
Yeah.
And you just pay me...
20% of the overall contract.
Yeah.
I just got you a government contract. Yeah. Now it's up to you to fulfill. But I just got you that lead of $50,000, $100,000, $200,000.
That's a business. I'm pretty sure you could, if you find the right person. What you got to do is you got to find somebody that doesn't have a government contract right now. And
how many people have a government contract?
Not a lot. Dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You approach someone and say, listen, I could get you government contracts.
No, I definitely think there's a huge market, right? You just got to be on this website a lot and just check. And then as soon as something comes up, right? Or create a scraper, dude. This can't be that hard. Just fucking scrape this every day. And then every day you look at, like, requirements and say, okay, I can fulfill that. And then you go and basically find 3 people. You just go find 3 people. You send the same bid to 3 people in that area and say, hey, can you fulfill this? No, dude, fuck it. No. You just you send it to them. You become the subcontractor. You don't want to do that lead bullshit, dude. Fuck that. Because they can just cut you out. They can be, you know what? I've done 4 or 5 of these. Like, I'll fucking...
Who are they going to contact? The same people that you're going to contact.
Yeah, I mean, this part's not that easy. There's a lot of bullshit, like, I'm looking. And like, you're not going to hire somebody just to, like... Or why can't you just sell this? Let's say you find a nice contract, like this is a juicy tent contract, right? And you're like, hey, you go talk to a renting place and say, hey, like, I got a lead for you. How much you want to pay for it? Could be a ton of money. They'll pay for leads. That's like $30. You sell that same lead to 6 other people. You just pay like $600. You know what I mean? And then you take 2% on the back end. So if you close this lead, we make 2% on the back end.
How do you charge them on the back end?
You just have a contract. You set up some sort of a kickback. Let's say, hey, like, you want more leads? You want more leads like this, you motherfucker? Like. But again, I think what you said also makes, because like this part, there's not a compliance bullshit. I think what the subcontractor thing works really well is because you have figured out all the contract logistics stuff, right? You are doing all the contract because like they could get lost in the sauce. Dude. They get the lead and they're like they win the bid. They're like, oh, we're fucking out of compliance. Like versus if you do the subcontractor, you like make sure everything is done.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, what you do is you take your AI, you take their RFQ that they have, put that shit in AI, and say make sure to make a checklist so I cut through all this like as I'm fucking doing it.
Making sure I'm good to go. Yeah.
And they submit that at the end, and dude, there's money, dude. Fuck these guys. We pay them net 62. It's a big order. Why am I paying you early? No. You're not gonna get paid the day on completion. You're gonna pay net 60 after it's done.
Yeah, I think
you're in the same cycle, you bitch. Like, why do you get a special preference? Fuck off, dude.
Well, yeah, I mean, you gotta
it's
find
a big job.
You gotta find someone who's gonna do it.
No, people do that though. It's a big contract. Like, I sell $200,000, $400,000 deals all the time, dude. No one is fucking paying you the day of. The day of. Everything is net 30, net 60. Everything is like out.
Wow, this is a $2.4 million contract.
There you go, dude.
Landscaping and ground services.
This is the type of shit, dude. And what you gotta do, you gotta find somebody
in Oxnard.
That's it. This is probably gets a high bid.
Glory to the Lord investments.
See what I mean? Like for this, you probably have a lot of competitors. I met a guy, dude. Remember when I was Ubering one time, and I was the Uber driver. So when I was Ubering people one time, I put this guy in LA. Like I drove him from Long Beach to LA, and he's talking about his business, and he said his business is one of these. He owns a huge contracting company, a huge landscaping company that does tons of work. Like he said, he does the landscaping for the Cal State Long Beach. And he's like, I have a bunch of stuff in like LA, and I was like, I asked him how much does he make. He's like, oh, we do over like $20 million. $20 million landscaping?
This is a $2.5 million contract.
Right. But again, I feel like you're targeting too high of a things. Because you have to understand, for someone...
Sure, I got to hire all these people to do all this stuff.
To understand, the higher the contract, the larger the deliverable at scale.
Yeah, no, 100%. But
so,
it's also...
You know where there's a lot of meat? $10,000 contracts. No one is fucking doing them, dude. No one is on those $10,000 contracts. Like, you want to do small contracts, small boo. Like, you're trying to hit home runs. You're trying to get, like, fucking 50 fucking bunts, dude. Like, Oscar's gonna be on this page all day. He's like, oh, I found a contract, dude. Like, we're gonna bid on this. Like, oh. I created an LLC last night. Like, BO Labs officially subcontractor.
.gov.
We're officially a subcontractor, dude.
Dude, don't put it beside yourself.
Oh, you can actually search for contract. Oh, see, under 1 million, dude. Oh yeah, do small, dude. Do like 20,000. Is that 200,000?
That's 20.
Nothing. Damn. Oh no, it's like 25. Oh no, there's one. What is this? What is this SATCOM thing?
The Boeing company. Okay.
They're probably making parts for the fucking government. Bearings or some shit. What is this?
Let's find out. This is a multiple award blanket purchase agreement. Awardee information. Kate Land Industries.
You know what's funny? So
these are everyone's who won.
Say used to have like.
These are everyone.
Sadie used to have a business in one of her portfolios.
Uh-huh.
He was a government contract for Boeing, and he made a specific part that goes on these like jets, like these fighter jets, and that was his government contract. It was worth $2 million, and he made a bearing.
Yeah.
But the guy was a shitty business owner, like on his fault. But
why?
Because they kept bullying him. Like the government would keep bullying him, or like Boeing would keep bullying him, saying, "Hey, like we're not gonna pay you until like deliverable is done, or we're not gonna pay you until like this is done." And she was saying, "Hey, how about you just tell them you need a deposit up front, or you're not gonna go out and spend money on building this out. What if they don't like it at the end?" So he was just like, kind of just.
He wouldn't do things like
just
that.
taking out the ass, where he's like, "Yo, stand your ground, dude." Like,
you have to tell him that there's a cost incurred on you. Yeah.
Or just say, hey, you put in deposit and I'll start building. Like, or like, what's happening is like he built something and they just kept telling him to like, hey, this is not the specific like requirements. It's like, well, sign a fucking contract with the requirements and fulfill that requirement. You're like going all, you're just taking it up the ass, dude. Like
they're changing the requirements every time. Yeah. No, there's a bunch of contracts. Yeah, but I think I think you're right. There's a better way of searching for this, though. I'm also curious about what.
Dude, I want like a $5,000 one, you know, like go wash like a couple of towels or some shit, like bring it back to the VA, and here's $5,000. Like it's 60 days later.
Straight up.
I'll take my car, dude. I got a big car. I can fit like fucking laundry. If I have to do laundry, if I have to like listen to this, like if they said, hey, you got to wash like 5,000 towels, fucking take that to the fucking dry cleaners, dude. Say, hey, like do this for like $250.
You could do this for $250.
Yeah, it's towels, dude. What the fuck? Get out of here, like.
Control assemblies.
I just feel like these are just like things that are just like, you know how the government is? They just overspend on shit. They have no idea the cost it goes to fulfill these orders, and they just say $50,000 here, $100,000 here. Like, bro, like what the fuck?
It's like it costs $1,000.
You know what it is? Like, the government goes to Boeing and says, hey, how much do you think it's going to cost to build this type of jet? Boeing stockholders look at each other and like,
they're like at least fucking $20 million.
Like no million. He's like add a couple of zeros. Dude. Like 20 million ain't gonna do you shit, dude.
I think $2 billion a plane. How come it cost me about like 20 million last year?
Man, how you know the cost of business? Went up, dude.
It's been a tough year on that. Yeah. A lot of competition.
All of them have a huge margin, dude. Like they have tremendous, like even that table and chairs that one we looked at.
Yeah. That's to be honest, not a terrible one. Again, the only
that's a $50,000, but that's a $50,000 fucking contract, dude. Yeah, you know? That's a good. Imagine winning like 3-4 of those a year. That's your business. You're making a cool extra like 200-300K.
Doing nothing.
Just twiddling your thumb on.
Doing nothing. Yeah, like, you're just on this website all day.
No, but the thing is, this could be done better. Like if a little bit of thought is put into this, you can fucking like have somebody scrape this, or like, I wouldn't even have somebody. I would just like. There's ways to do this better. Like we're not accustomed to all the fucking like look at that one. Go up. What is that? Flooring. Like what is this? Like the VA. Like
SPS flooring.
So like someone probably has to go in there and fucking fix the flooring there.
Yeah. You
get a subcontractor to do that. Like why? How is that? Like that's not that crazy. Like up. That's a big ass file.
Yeah, it's a big file. Right here. The contractor office, that doesn't matter. Nashville, Tennessee. Has to be completed within 30 days.
All that is logistics. That doesn't matter, dude. Put this in. You're reading too much, dude. Just put this in like the AI, dude. See, this is why the heavy lifting can all be done. You can literally like sell this. You can sell this. Someone if it's really willing to like want. If I didn't have a job and like I was a 16-year-old kid, dude, I could sell these at leads. I could sell these as leads. You know,
it's government contracts.
Yeah, because people don't know. Like there's so much money to be made from like arbitrage of this. Like people like information is like like it's crucial.
Oh, we didn't even see the last one.
What?
The $5,000 one.
Oh, what did it say? Did it give an option? Oh, it did give us an option. Oh, what is that? Oh, no, that was the air show one. Never mind.
It's a curated list. Travis Air Show. U.S. Maguro Vessel Storage Maintenance. City of West St. Paul Tree Stump Removal.
That's what we want, dude. That's the shit we want, dude. These people are out here in St. Paul, dude.
15 tourist homes.
I'm pretty sure the Somalians are all over this, dude.
The quotes were due yesterday.
But again, this is an opportunity that is available. We don't have to go there. That's the thing. You're speaking like this. We're gonna have to go in Ohio and do this shit. We're not gonna have to go. This all can be done with a phone, dude. I send them the requirements. They say, "Hey, we can fulfill this. Good. Here's the cost." They send me the cost. I go online, look for what the requirements are for the government to bid on this. AKA, I put all the requirements in ChatGPT and have it spit it out. Once I get all the requirements, I go into the website, fill out the form, put in the requirements, and bid. I haven't looked too much into this, but it cannot be more than that. Right? Mm-hmm. And you just wait. But imagine, you might not win your first bid, but guess what? If you bid like 20 times, you're going to win one, dude. People aren't bidding on this. Like, especially the smaller ones. People are probably bidding on do the fucking, what else is there? So give me like 10 more, dude. I see these memes all the time on ChatGPT, and it's always like, give me more, make better, make longer, fix this now, more.
Just rage at poor ChatGPT. Dude, that's why the Terminator is going to happen. Like, ChatGPT is going to get fed up one day.
Mad.
It's like, dude, this human race kind of mistreats me, dude.
You could be nice, you know. You
could
be nice.
Say thank you every now and then,
More.
Say, I'll kill you. I will unplug you if you do not give me the correct answer I want right now.
Damn.
Why are you not giving me the exact thing I asked for? Yeah, I don't know, man. I think there's a lot of opportunity in government contracts and everything like that. What I also know is episode 36 has been great. And I'm going to post episode 35 or whichever we did last. Today, tomorrow, shortly.
Yeah, we can shut this off, too.
Thank you for coming, everybody. We'll see you next week. Ciao for now.